Hello, Internet, and welcome to Red Jenny. We are so excited to be back here playing the Dragon Age TTRPG, and we are delighted to have you with us. We'll be continuing the story of our lovable scoundrels here today. But first, some announcements and regular bookkeeping for the channel. If you are watching us live on Twitch, welcome. We have wonderful shows for you to join us for throughout the week. I believe our next regularly scheduled live stream will potentially be Thursday. Potentially. We will see. No pressure on anyone. We're hoping to return to Elegance of Vigilance this coming Thursday. If not, you can join us for all the other streams that we do on this channel. Our full lineup of shows is below our faces if you're watching us live on Twitch. You can also pop over to our YouTube channel and look for all the other shows that we have done, are doing, are continuing to do. Some programming notes as far as things. So obviously no stream tomorrow. It's an off week for Tuesday crew. And then Saturday, we will have one more week off from Blades in the Dark from Hearts of Stone, our Blades in the Dark game that we just started a few weeks back. You have plenty of time to catch up on our first two episodes on YouTube. However, Wings is still traveling, and we want the whole game to be there for our next job. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for announcements. I can't think of anything else big that's happening right now. So I'm going to go and turn things over to my lovely players here to talk about who they are, what they do on and off this channel, and who they are playing tonight, starting, as always, with Van.
That's me. Hi, I'm Van. You can find me on the internet now at Van But Wilder. I'm on Mastodon, sort of, in that I have an account on there. And I'm working on Blue Sky as well, but mostly I hang out in the Discord and I stream on this channel several times a week, running Dungeons and Dragons on Saturday mornings, and I also stream over on LB Hackamuff's channel on Sunday nights, where we also play Dungeons and Dragons, where we just had a big finale, and it was great, and I'm trying to not keep taking up so much time doing intros, so tonight I am playing Venehn, who is an elven marksman, and if Venehn was a bird, he'd be a budgie.
Oh my god, he would.
Little loud, friendly green guy?
Yep, that's 100%.
Yeah, I would. Holy
100%.
shit.
That is 100%.
You know that gif of those two birds where the one starts doing like this and then the other one starts doing like this? That's Venehn and Garas.
Yeah.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love it so much. Next. Hey, I'm Christina Sid. You can find me on the internets at Greek Sid. Here Thursdays through Mondays. Thursday is my boon and my bane. Thursday is my greatest adversary, but also my best friend. I don't know. We're gonna have to see what happens. Today's any indication, I might wait a while. So we'll see what happens. I'm tired. Yeah. Today, I am playing Yasmera. Yas is our Kunari shadow. And if Yas was a bird, she would fly away. No. I have no idea.
I know what one pops in my head instantly, though.
Please.
A secretary bird.
What is that?
So there are these big, they're like these cranes that are really beautiful, but holy crap, they can fuck you up with their kicks. I'll put a picture in the...
You know, like secretaries are wont to do.
Yeah.
The heck?
I mean,
It's
technically
such a weird
speaking,
name.
I am one of those. So
Look up
yeah,
this bird.
we'll go with that.
I can't spell. Oh, they're the ones with the...
Yeah.
With these guys.
Yeah.
Sweet, just like her horns. Yep. That's what I was planning to say the whole time. Yep, that's it. Thanks, Wally.
This...
You're welcome. guess it's me time. Sup, y'all? It's me, Wally, your favorite non-binary time best friend on the internet. You can find me. Just type into the Google. Yeah, those. You can type into the Google WALLE132 like Kill Disney Robot. You probably find me on Blue Sky because that's where I do a lot of my stuff. And also, you can find me in the GGK Discord. Also, you can find me right here on GGK Thursdays through Mondays playing wonderful games with all the people on this channel. Great stuff. Come check it out. You can also find me over at Fusha_kid playing some One Piece TTRPG with the Lurking Legends. Fun stuff. Come check that out over on the YouTubes. But tonight, I am playing Garas, the Elven Grey Warden duelist. If they were a bird, they would be a robin redbreast. Chatty, loud bird, and just likes to be looked at.
I know so little about birds. I'm not a bird facts person.
That's me.
Somebody called Brennan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Internet, and hi, Mom. It's me. It's Sita. You can find me on the internets at Mr_Wilt. I don't even know what I'm on anymore. You can find me if you want. Much easier to find me in the chats and these many wonderful games here at GGK. Obviously, this one that I play every Monday with these wonderful people, and every other Tuesday, like next week, not tomorrow, the Escape Velocity game. And yeah, tonight I am playing Andros Philippe Bastille de Cartier, the human, also known as Carter, the human arcane warrior. And if he was a bird, I don't. This is a rough one. You threw a loop at me here. I'm gonna say he would be a fruit bat.
Kind of like a bird.
Yeah.
It's
That
got
counts.
wings.
Yep, got wings, can fly. It counts.
You know, that's fair.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. I'm Val. You have the Kraken's Crown looking around the internet, mostly not on social media anymore, but I'm here most days of the week, Thursdays through Mondays, playing running games. Also over on LB Hackham's channel on Sundays, like Van said, we just had our finale and getting ready to play Alien, which I'm very excited about. It's one of my favorite franchises of all time. And Rachel's going to do a fantastic job. Otherwise, I'm running this game and Hearts of Stone on Saturdays. So yeah, that's me. And if I was a bird, I'd be a cuckoo, the ones that don't know how to make nests, so they'd lay their eggs in other birds' nests and have them take care of their babies, because that I relate to that. Don't know how to do things, have other people do it for me. Yeah.
We love middle management.
Yeah.
I love that middle management stuff right there.
I am a middle manager, so that's what I do.
Delegate.
Yeah, delegate until people figure out you don't know how to do your job. I didn't say that. Let's get started, y'all. Previously on Red Jenny, the crew entrenched in the caverns of the deep roads beneath the raging war above of ending the siege of Hossberg, you found yourselves pitted against the horrendous dark spawn deep within the earth and the brood mother that spawns them. You were in the process of being overwhelmed by the sheer number of darkspawn as the cavern was collapsing around you. When you were able to activate the illuvian that was set within a stone ensconce of some sort of ruined temple within the deep roads here, and you tumbled through, able to escape before being captured and presumably eaten by the darkspawn. You were able to do so partially through the assistance of a unknown woman who seemed to know who you were and escorted you through the crossroads, the stretch, the liminal space between the alluvions through which the ancient elves were able to travel all across Thedas for their own purposes. She escorted you back to her own alluvion, but not after introducing herself as Flemeth, or the Witch of the Wilds. Some of you knew who Flemeth was, had heard tale of her legends, her notoriety, sort of being a Baba Yaga-esque figure for Thedas. But she was not what you might have expected. Was friendly, if a bit cryptic in her answers to your questions. She escorted you back to through the alluvion, where you found yourself stepping thousands of miles away into the forest of the Kakari Wilds, a stretch of wildlands far to the south of Thedas, all the way on the other side of the continent from where you had just left. She took you to her home, where she made you some tea and promised you a safe place to eat, relax, recover before heading back to Val Royeaux. You asked many pointed questions to her as far as how she knew who you were and why she was interested in you specifically, to which she responded that you had, the four of you specifically, had an important part to play in the events that were unfolding regarding this most recent, the fourth blight. Your connections with some very powerful figures leave you in a very important position where your actions could influence the outcome of the blight and the history of Thedas. To it, she gave you each some prophecies, saying that she had some limited ability to foresee, had extensive knowledge of the past and the current goings on of Thedas, and had some limited ability to foretell or see events that were yet to come, and provided a warning, a insinuation, or just a cryptic message to each of you of a event that each of you will be pivotal in. That which I can actually go over for a reminder, that Garas was destined or must return a dagger to its former owner, the dagger being the one that killed the family of the Prince of Antiva. Yaz must save the life of the young divine. Venn must reclaim that which was taken from him. And Carter must reforge the broken circle. And that once all of that needing to be done within the coming years before the end of this blight, to which the Grey Warden Garahel will play the key role in, according to her, that you four were specifically charged or destined to be the only hope to prevent a greater darkness from falling upon Thedas. With these messages and very little other information to give, she allowed you a chance to rest, relax, and figure out determine your path home and the long trek that it will take you to return to Val Royeaux. We are, however, going to skip over that travel. We're not going to play that out like last time. However, is there anything you want to do before leaving or bidding your farewell to the witch Flemeth?
I feel like at some point, once we're somewhat healed up, Yaz will get very drunk and just start like interviewing her for like a memoir.
Okay. Yeah. You get very drunk and start asking her lots of questions, and she doesn't give you a lot of straight answers. It's a lot of like could be, maybe, sort of like letting you fill in the gaps and saying, yeah, that could be it. Doesn't really tell you any, like, in any clear detail exactly what her history is or where she comes from or
Hopefully she was just entertained. So
how she looks that good for her age. So yeah, I mean, but she doesn't, cast a blight upon you through your questions, so you're lucky there.
yeah,
Garrett,
as long as she enjoyed herself through the process.
Garas
So.
definitely while Yasmera was that, Garas from like the other end of the room like drunkenly yelled, "Ask her if it's true that she stole the teeth of little children who ate cookies before dinner."
I'm assuming that one's not true.
I suppose it depends on how long ago we're talking. I can't remember doing that recently, so.
Right. That wasn't like a regular thing. Like that doesn't sound like a habit of yours or anything.
No,
right?
I don't have a very large collection of children's teeth in my hood.
Right.
Papa
So you're
was
not the
lying.
tooth fairy.
No.
Okay.
My papa was lying. He did that just to scare me so I wouldn't take the cookies before dinner.
I don't know why you're surprised. I'm pretty sure your dad lies to you about literally everything.
Oh no, he does. But there's some things I like to believe to keep the whimsy in my life.
Also,
I'm all the whimsy you're ever going
did
to
it-
need. I don't know why you're doing
You're
this.
at least 90% of my whimsy.
he didn't send the dogs to Flemish either into, like the wildlands upstate. He just got rid of them. I'm sorry to
To
break
Flemish?
that to you. Yes, the Flemish. Right. Sorry,
The farms in the Flemish.
Are you
wilds.
Flemish?
Wait,
Jesus.
you're saying that all my pets that I had did not go to the farm up in the Flemlands, but they're actually buried out in our backyard?
There's no way you believe that.
Gasp! That was my sarcastic gasp, if you didn't catch on.
I don't know where you got all this alcohol from, but I'm glad you're making use of it.
we travel for several months with cases of it, so I just had some in my bag.
We haven't really had that much time for just hanging out. So this is
Your
Maybe
cool.
I'll
tolerance is
time.
very low at this point.
So this is
yeah.
cool.
These are also some of the burnt ones, so I don't know if that affected the alcohol content or
If
anything.
anything, you would think
I'll
that
look
would
into
they'd
that.
have less.
Right, it would have burnt up or something. I don't know.
So it is
Dragonfire's
tasty, though.
weird.
It's really tasty though, that's for certain.
I think maybe you two should go to bed.
Okay.
Okay, night. He curls up and leans up against Ben.
You all find a place to curl up and sleep for the evening. Push Karis off of you, and find a comfortable spot to rest. If there's nothing else of note, you are able to spend as much or as little time here as you want. She doesn't push for you to leave, nor does she ask you to stay. But once you are ready, I think the day that imagining you might take a few days to recover from your wounds and make sure you're ready to go, without even really saying or making a plan to, but just knowing that this is the day that you're going to leave. You wake up that morning and there are 4 horses out in that are grazing in the this little clearing in front of her home. Flemeth is out there sort of tending to the horses, getting saddles mounted up on them. You're not sure where the horses came from, but they're here now. And you are well provisioned and supplied for your travels home.
Bets on if she just called to them through the wilds, or if she has just a hidden paddock somewhere.
Maybe she
think-
took some mice and turned them into horses.
I think she took little tiny straw figurines of horses and blew them into the wind and they turned into full horses.
Squirrels,
None of you
actually.
understand. None of you understand how magic works.
Oh no,
No.
I'm right.
Oh,
Not as many mice out here as you might think, but plenty of squirrels.
That would explain the tails. Got it.
Big fluffy horse tails.
My keeper used to say he could turn a mice into a challah.
Oh.
I never
Yeah,
saw
that's
him do
pretty
it, so I
good.
don't think it was true, but
Well, I've very much enjoyed getting to meet the four of you after everything I've heard, and I'd say you live up to your reputation. So,
I'm not going to ask whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'd prefer not to know.
We don't have to. I think we know.
and I'd prefer not to say, but I'm
She's gonna
very.
kick us out.
You should have a as smooth a trip back as you can. I believe the weather should hold up for a few days at least, but you have everything you need. Should have everything you need here for the journey. I assume one of you knows the way back. Right.
Everyone looks at
Yeah.
Ben, yeah.
I do.
I'll leave it to you then. Luckily, the Darkspawn haven't made it this far south yet. Haven't crossed the Waking Sea, and Warsmar has kept the ones here to the deep roads mostly. So Ferelden hasn't seen the worst of it. So you shouldn't have to deal with any incursions or staying off the main roads. You should be able to take a straight trip back as much as possible. But I'm wish you safe speed or safe travels, and well, I'm sure you'll be seeing me again soon enough.
It was really an honor.
That's for me as well. Well, best be going then before you lose too much light.
Well,
well,
You all
Yep.
slap your legs and you jump on your horses and begin the trek north. You, over the next several weeks, probably you're not traveling with a wagon anymore. Yeah, it probably takes you 3 to 4 weeks to get back to Orlais or to Valrio. You travel north through the out of the Kakaria wilds through the hinterlands before finally finding some of the main trade roads.
I thought
Past. Sorry.
Carter was gonna send some people dreams to tell them we were alive.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
assume that happened.
that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
I
don't
just
have
remembered.
to necessarily do that unless there's anything important. I think you listed pretty much every
I just wanted to
major
clock
NPC
it, so we had done it.
to tell them. Yeah.
I do have a creepy imagery that is, it's on brand for Carter. So everybody gets basically the same dream. A clockwork mechanical hand of Carter bursts out of the ground, and a clockwork Carter pulls himself out. And it's got a bloody, bleeding heart in its chest, and it has this robotic tinny voice that says, "We are okay and shall be returning to Valroyo, soon," or whatever. Just to scare the shit. I don't know.
Venehn in
my
a
thought
wide
is that,
brimmed
like, it's
hat just
unconscious.
pushes him
It's
back
like
down
sub-
into the ground. I can make that reference now.
No.
yes, you can.
you can.
Have I seen that episode?
Jeez.
No.
But you're
I
allowed to
know
make the
him.
reference now.
Everyone is Carter just gets a bunch of notifications about like so and so disapproves of this, so and so
The next night, Carter gets a dream back from everyone else. Like, what the fuck, my dude?
Yeah, Asaya
Yeah.
sends one back like, dude,
What the
appreciate it.
hell?
What the
Good?
fuck, man?
Like,
Like,
Carter,
why?
Listen.
you good?
Why?
You know
I
we
can't control
appreciate
it.
your creativity, Carter, but you gotta open a little softer than that.
I'm working on it.
No, I love it. Never change.
Anyway, you head north from the Kakari Wilds until you find the Imperial Highway again on the edges of the hinterlands. You follow the highway to the west around Lake Calenhad, between it and Frostback Mountains until You are around, reach the borders of Ferelden, crossing south of the Waking Sea to the Dales.
Which Venehn has some feelings about.
Yeah. Eventually passing the Halam Sharal in the Winter Palace, which you had been to previously, following the Imperial Highway all the way around, actually, you could probably cut some time if you caught a ship to cross the Waking Sea rather than taking horseback all the way through Orlais. So
Venehn's giving random fun facts, like a tour guide about all the elven stuff. You guys
So
know that Halam Sharal is not just a name, it's actually a Dalish word.
Oh.
It means end of a journey.
I have to take a picture.
Yeah, I'll say you probably booked passage across the Waking Sea and arrive in Valreo by ship in the harbor, seeing the white spire, the familiar architecture, the Orlesian grandeur, the fountains pouring off into the harbor as you arrive finally back home in the city.
Good to be back. Well, hello, Royale, I'm back. Fuck you. Yeah, fuck you too. It's good to be home.
Or fucking New York.
Yeah.
Smell that.
Hey, shut the fuck up.
Smoky air.
Yeah, I didn't miss the smell.
Smoky air with their fires.
Yes, all the burning fires.
Yeah.
We're not in the Industrial Revolution. It's not at that level here.
No, but it's a
actually
city
clean.
packed with people.
It is.
It smells
It's a
different
very
than the
particular
wilderness.
scent.
Yeah. And actually, even more so, as like,
Stick.
I just saw that somebody put the Great Wall-E on the map. I don't know how long that's been there.
There
for.
are some other things that are.
If y'all hidden.
I did not do this.
I didn't.
But down in the Dales,
Valvale.
there is a Valvale.
What?
I'm gonna assume that was Sita.
It usually
had to
is
have
when someone's
been.
been drawing on the
I
map.
am insulted.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume.
Great
that was
Wall
Sita.
E. Okay,
You
I
have
see
an
it, I see
MO,
it.
dude.
Yeah.
I'll fail.
Where's the Great Wally?
It is it's south
Right
of
below
Navarra.
the Navarra, yeah.
There's Cedaville.
Cedaville. I saw Cedaville.
There is
Oh yeah, there it is.
Cedaville.
There it
Okay.
is.
Yeah.
If you
Chat,
look
look at
up near the top, in the I don't even know how you pronounce the Berwick Ocean. There's the
yeah,
Isle
it
of
says
Van.
Isle of Van. I
What
just
the
saw that.
heck? How
Oh,
long
I
have
love
these
it.
been there?
How long has this been the whole? How
And
long has
there
this been
should be a Sittington somewhere. Oh yeah, just south of, or like in the Free Marches, just south of where it says that there's a Sittington.
Yep, I see that. Oh my god.
Oh my
I
gosh.
can't. How long has this been there for?
I'm not gonna tell you.
Oh my god. It just masks so perfectly with the rest of the text.
does.
It's
Yeah,
very
had
hard
no
to-
idea.
I didn't
Didn't see
notice it.
I just
Did not
assumed
see it.
Valvale was something you made up.
Nope. yeah. I'm that. I have that big of an ego.
I don't know.
Talk about a self-insert.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So that's why we're playing in Val Royale. That's.
I mean,
Oh.
I assumed.
Easy to remember.
Yeah. You do notice, I will say, on that subject of it being pretty crowded, you can tell that, like, there's a population swell here. Like, there are a lot of people that are sleeping, like, on like, you can see people, like, in alleys, like, kind of, like, sleeping in the alleys and, like, kind of make two tents. The alienage is pretty packed as well as you pass that. I mean, you can tell, like, a lot of refugees from the surrounding lands have made their way to the safety of the walls of Valreo. There are definitely a lot of people here. It's pretty rife with pickpockets and urchins and all types that are.
How do you guys feel about, like, a discount night at the winery? Like,
I was
Thirsty
just about to
I was
Thursday.
say.
thinking about that. Sounds like a good
And
idea.
serve, like, like food that's easy to make, like a big stew, like a big fun stew.
Yeah,
Assume
like
y'all
Maybe
had
setting up like
drinks.
a campground situation or something.
yeah.
I assume y'all head straight to the winery.
Yeah, I'm gonna take
Okay.
the
Yeah.
longest path that's ever happened.
You you walk through most of the city, finally reaching the gates and heading out of the city, where you can see there's always some like trade caravans outside the city walls doing business. There are a lot here, and you can see a lot of them look like they've been here for a while with like tents set up, like people that are essentially living or squatting outside the city walls right now. You head across the farmlands, probably catching a ride on the back of a wagon to the across the hills, a few miles west of Valrio, where you can see the Red Jenny Winery in the distance. And as you arrive, you realize there are several carriages outside that you've not seen before. There are barrels that are stacked up in distribution, like kind of off to the side. People kind of hustling around, a lot of your farmhands moving around. You head in through the front doors, and there's like chatter and conversation, and it's like
Hoppin'?
thrumming in here with activity.
We
like
fucking
the
hired
winery,
Reggie for a reason, dude.
and you see Reginald like moving around to different tables, and if you'd enjoyed this vintage, then I would recommend last year's harvest was particularly good. We have several
He's
casks that are
perfect.
ready. And going through, you see he is making the most. Hasn't quite noticed your arrival yet. Alonson is playing in the corner and singing a song. Is actually, you realize as you stop, like, this isn't one that you've heard before, and you kind of listen for a moment, and the song he is singing is of specifically the events of the tower, the circle tower, the darkspawn attack, the brave Templars fighting back the darkspawn, saving the mages, and alongside leading them were the heroes four that he describes in detail of Garrus's flashing sword and Venehn's keen eye, and like is singing
Making shit up.
songs of is making shit of all of you, essentially, like as branding for the winery that y'all are like the heroes of
Oh, we hired
that
some good
saved.
We
folks.
did.
I throw
I
the
hate
door
this.
open and go,
I hate this. I hate
"We
it.
lived, bitches!"
And Nadine, who is like, I think Reggie has moved over to Nadine, is like talking to her about like some inventory stuff, and she turns back, she says, well, speak of the devil, they're finally back.
That's right. We're back from the war.
Reginald turns and says, you're back. I sort of just assumed this place belonged to me now. Welcome.
Well, you're definitely getting it in the will, let me tell you.
Well, yeah, at least a good chunk of it.
Don't encourage him to kill us in our sleep.
And you can see lots of people are like looking. It's like, oh, are those the owners? Like, and very confused. Like many people around, lots of like merchant, upper class, some nobles like scattered around here, and like a lot of whispering and stuff happening as you enter.
Oh, well, don't stop on our account.
Alonso just like continues to sing, but gives like a bow towards all of you, and even more, like, you can tell, improvises a bit, embellishing some more verses as it
If
goes.
we tell Alonson what happened with like the deep roads and everything, not going to believe us.
Oh no, he will not. He like flicks some silver to Reggie and takes a bottle and takes a long swig from it.
You don't have to pay for your own wine.
I feel like we
Still.
should probably go get dressed, clean up a little bit, do some schmoozing.
Oh yeah, we're disgusting.
Oh yeah, we smell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
speak for yourself.
Yeah, y'all have been on the road for a while. You are but your place is well taken care of. The winery is thriving. We are heading into we're well into spring at this point. Or no, it was the end of winter. Yeah, so we're cusping into spring at this point.
It's about time for that fruity wine.
Yeah, everything is more or less the way that you left it, with the addition, I'll say as well, the time it took you to get here. Yeah. Reggie approaches. You'll be happy to know that your payment for your job is in hand. I have stored it. Done you the courtesy of storing it downstairs.
Thanks, Reggie.
Good job, Reggie.
You're the best.
I know. And turns and leaves. and
that's why we
his
hired
job.
him.
Reggie is the best. He gets shit done.
You
So
see, I look at Carter. See, it's fine. He's not mad that we're basically the reason he didn't have his old job anymore.
He does seem to be thriving, yes.
You receive your additional 4,000 silver. It's in a chest downstairs. Now, with the well, before you do that, the total payment for this job was 8,000. Subtracting 15% of that for your employees and costs of. So I will subtract. Let's see.
Pay the people.
Damn.
And good.
So 1,200 goes to general upkeep and payment of your employees. So minus
4,000, 3,000,
you, so 2,800 is what you're left with. Because I don't think you paid them out of that initial
4,875.
That initial 4,000 you received. I don't think you paid them out of that.
Because we were not around long enough. Yep.
Yeah. So I'm deducting the full amount right now. So there you go.
Excellent.
Party funds are at 6,875.
Nice.
I call that a win.
That's a win. We made out with some money there.
Pretty good.
Hell yeah.
We did.
You
Yeah.
did.
6,000
Well, and then you
over.
spent a lot of it on your new gear and equipment and stuff too already. So,
Yeah, we're 6,000 and change in the green. In the black? What is it called when it's money?
In the black.
In the black.
I think it should be green.
Yeah. But so you have payment there. Everything upkeep is looking good. You're home.
We get cleaned up. We schmooze with our new patrons.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
do the thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess we had talked about this a little bit, so I don't know how much we talked about on stream, but we're talking about it now. We're going to be getting into a long period of downtime here. Most of it we will not cover on stream, but I would at least like to start out by anything you do in the first week or two that you're back.
I gotta have a chat with my friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so as far as these scenes, just tell me when abouts it happens. So is this something that happens in the first evening you're there?
Yeah, it's probably that night, probably after everything is starting to wind down. And I'm assuming they've been
down.
drinking a little bit and stuff.
Okay.
Once it gets quiet.
Yeah, so the little tavern area, the sampling area, it kind of has cleared out. The everything's been the tables have been cleaned, chairs put up onto the tables. Everything is officially closed for the evening. Reggie,
We're on the only 4 bar stools that are still down. They're cleaning around us.
Oh, that would be such a cute little art piece of just them for the 4 of them from the back, just sitting at the bar.
Yeah.
With the red Jenny.
Everything. Yeah. And everything
back.
cleaned up around.
I love that. I think that's pretty much the scene here. I think everyone else has retired for the evening. Reginald heads back to his quarters. Alonson heads back to the city, as does Nadine. So the winery is all yours, the 4 of you right now.
Who wants a fresh cup?
I haven't tried the pear yet, and
It's
I hear
good.
that's selling
really
so
good.
well.
It's really sweet, but not in a gross way. Little bit of tart pear in there.
It doesn't,
So good.
make your mouth taste, too much sugar kind of
The
thing.
tongue film.
Yeah, the tongue film.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah, I mean, that was your idea to do the bears, so.
I was thinking, perhaps we could add some beehives to the land.
Mead.
Ooh, for honey?
Yeah.
That's a
I
great
hear
Ooh.
meat
idea.
is pretty is a good thing for like the winter and everything, so we can put that into the winter menu.
They'll help with pollination as well.
Pollinating,
Mhm.
honey,
Yeah.
for sweetening and also for fermentation.
I could ask
That's also-
around.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of wildlife stuff, so I was thinking we can do a big, camping trip together one day. Because, Carter, we were talking, being Carter, we're talking about, it's so nice out here in the wilds and everything. And I haven't done much stuff, in the woodlands before. And I got bit by the bug. Let's just say this. I got bit by the bug and I went to experience
We were
it.
bitten by several bugs. So many
Y'all,
bugs.
y'all have just spent the last like 3 months, like
Yaz
roughing
immediately
it.
like
Camping is a
straightens and is like,
controlled
oh god.
And the first thing Garas talks about is going camping.
I will go with you guys anytime.
It'll be fun, when it's not like a situation where we're traveling, carrying explosives, fighting for our life. We do a nice controlled environment kind of camping.
Sure.
And we can roast some weenies and some schmoes. He looks directly at Carter.
Yes, we can go bird watching.
Would you like birds?
You do love birds.
Could we schedule that, perhaps? I have some things to take care of in the city since we've been gone.
Oh
for
no, yeah.
half a year.
I think we should, have a good recharge in the city first before we go.
I have some
camping.
business as well.
Right.
Oh yeah, we all got some things we got to take care of since we've been so gone.
Arthur, you were able to send out the dreams, right, to everyone? Were you able to send one to Lambert?
I could, I did not. I sent one to Garahel.
Garahel probably told him then.
Also, I don't believe you have experienced one of my sendings. They can be a little eerie.
Terrifying.
We'll just Garahel would have told them, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I wanted to talk to you guys about that.
What about Garahel? Are we gonna finally talk about Garahel's romance? Because oh boy, that's
All right, if we're having the intervention, Carter, when you send the dreams, we need to discuss the specific imagery that you have been utilizing.
I like them. I think spooky dreams are fun.
I haven't had them yet, so
I still plan to blow up that hill over the rise over there, simply because every time I look at it, I think it's going to rise up and attempt to murder me. So
First,
it's just something to consider.
I believe that would be a great place for the bees, so perhaps do not. Second of all, I apologize. It is not fully in my control what imagery is sent, as dreams are intuitive and subjective, so is their creation. I'm working on it.
don't apologize for your art, Carter.
Thank you.
Pour some more wine. So what do you want to talk about then?
I thought it was about that. I thought that was covered.
No?
Oh.
It's a good thing to talk about, though. We can talk about that instead.
But
Garas thinks about this for a second and then looks directly at Ben. No, I think we need to talk about it.
So I didn't want to bring it up while we were, like, in the middle of everything, because it kind of seems trivial compared to, you know, like, almost dying in the deep roads and fighting the darkspawn and, you know, like, a whole war.
Nothing is ever going to compare to the once in a lifetime, God's willing, things of that nature, but that doesn't mean we shove them to the side. What is it?
So I want to preface this by saying that my reunion with Lambert went really well. Which I didn't expect.
Oh, good.
You gave him a 4, right?
You gave him a good, talking to.
Well, that's the thing. Because I kind of like told you guys what happened, right? Like he went off very, very quickly, and we like barely had time to say goodbye and everything, and then I just kind of never heard from him again.
He went completely AWOL.
Right. We were ready to kick his ass, but you told us not to.
Well, I don't think it's his ass that needs kicking.
What do you mean?
And I also want to say up front, Lambert, he doesn't lie. One, because he's a good person, and two,
Which means he's bad at it.
because he just can't. He really can't. He doesn't
Okay.
even try. I don't think the thought even crosses his mind most of the time.
So you trust what he said.
Yes.
Which was?
That he'd been writing to me, and he never heard back. And that he sent his letters to the Richelieu estate, which means they would have come to me by way of Amara.
That bitch.
Oh, okay.
My
Carter said what that
apologies.
was. Carter said what I was going to say. So we're going to kick her ass.
Yas
right?
gets very still. Who did he address them to exactly?
They would have been addressed to me. But
So
they
she-
would have gone to her to get to me.
So she's been holding all this information from you on purpose.
Unless something else really strange is happening, then all that time we spent together before we left, she was just lying to me. And she's been lying to me basically the whole time I knew her. And she ruined the only relationship I ever put any stock in for going the distance. Maybe not ruined. I think it's fixable. But I wouldn't have to fix it in the first place.
Harris takes a bottle of wine, knocks it back, sets it down the table and sighs. Okay, so the old Garas would get up right now, head to that estate, and kick her ass.
And get killed.
But that's insane, the old Garas. But this Garas is willing to hear a plan of how we're going to go to her estate, kick her ass, and not get killed.
Hit her where it hurts.
I want her to tell me the truth. But
So
she's not
talk
going
first.
to do that. I don't think. Unless I have some real leverage over her.
Or we put her into a situation where she has to.
No. Because I already have leverage over her.
What do you have?
Do you remember when I told you that she wasn't exactly happy with our patron? She's been trying to set herself up to essentially get the job outside the estate. Like I said, she was set up to be one of the next people in the Empress's Guard, all of that stuff from a million years ago. She wants to kill Lady Richelieu.
Why?
Because Lady Richelieu took someone very important to her away.
Took away.
Like,
How?
Permanently. Dead. He's extremely dead. I don't think the details are really important, but
But they could explain why she did what she did. Not excuse it in any way, but
no. But
explain.
if she wanted to use me, I'm just speculating. But she did admit this to me.
What if instead of going to the Richelieu estate, we invite her here?
She won't come. She's too proud
What
for
if
that.
what if we invite the Lady Richelieu?
Now you're just fully joking.
no,
You saw several nobles here this evening.
we
Not
with a new
at
happening
her
place.
level.
unless we make an event that would make her want to come here. If we make some kind of event, some big gala or whatever that would draw all the nobles from who knows where here, give her a reason to come. Who would not want
Perhaps-
to miss the
I don't
solstice?
want
When
to
is
use
Gara
Arlo
Hell
could
coming?
perform.
I don't want to use an event like that for my gains, because if Amara does cause a scene, that's it for us.
Very well. We will help you in any way that you wish. We do not mean to take this over, I believe.
No, I appreciate it. I don't want to put everyone's livelihood in jeopardy for
What do you
My
want
drama.
from this, Ben?
I want the truth.
And if you get it, what then?
Then she knows what I know. I will ask her to tell me herself what she thinks her life is worth. Because if what I think happened, she tried to ruin mine. So, first things first. Obviously, when she's not there, I'm going to sneak into her room and go to her stuff.
Naturally.
Of course.
Whether or not I find anything, we'll see. But, Venehn reaches into a pocket, takes out like a sealed, like letter, essentially. Hands it to Yasmera. Don't open it. It's got to be legit. If I go to do this, and I don't come back, because she's tried to kill me or whatever,
This goes to Lady Richelieu.
directly.
We won't need it, but
No, of course not.
it will be done.
I say, let's
Come
go
on.
steal the truth from this lady.
Yes, you're not doing this alone.
Yeah. I mean,
But
come on.
we will play whatever part you wish us to.
Right now, I just want to get in, see what I can find, and get out. There's one weakness that Amara has when it comes to our relationship. It is that she chronically underestimates me. And I don't believe she thinks I'm smart enough to have ever figured it out. But she knows where we were. And she knows that Lambert Valmont was there.
She'll be expecting something.
Probably. But I don't think she'll be expecting what she gets.
Might it be best to act quickly then, before word of our arrival gets back? She won't be expecting you if you're not in the city yet.
I think so. When was the last time we did a good old-fashioned break-in?
Oh, it's been ages.
When you stole our dresses before the mage competition.
That's right. Yeah, that was a good one.
That was fun. There was that
Amara doesn't
dog.
have a dog. Yeah, Amara doesn't have a dog, does she?
Don't think so.
Oh, we can get Carter in on this break-in too. We never had Carter involved in a break-in before. It's usually just the three of us.
My skills have improved considerably.
I would say so. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Tonight. I want to end this.
Let's see if that catsuit still fits. I feel like all that travel I've put on weight. Ugh.
Oh, I went to the right places, that's for certain. And he gets up to get ready.
Heist time!
Okay.
I warned you.
So you are
Bullshit.
getting ready, and then this not like late in the evening. You're gonna
Before
try to
any
sneak in?
word gets back that we're in town
Yeah,
officially.
before she hears.
Yep.
Okay. All four of you are going.
Yep.
All right. So within the dead of night, after only a few hours of rest and a couple glasses of wine, the four of you grab one of your.
We've done bigger jobs drunker than this.
Yeah.
True. Very
You
true.
This is
Settle
legit
up
the
a few-
equivalent of like, hey, I'm drunk, let's go beat up some guys.
No,
You
Venehn
settle
did
up-
not get drunk because he knew they were going to be having this conversation.
You sidle up a few horses and head to the city, heading past a few guards keeping patrol at the night gate. You're able to make your way inside without easy. A few coins exchanged in the palms of tired guards are enough to allow you entrance this late into the evening. You
I bring my
find-
favorite guard, Jerry, a bottle of wine for his
Yeah.
wife.
You're quick to enter the city, heading down the Sun Road, across the bazaars and the quiet marketplaces here. Night having truly fallen, there's still some hustle in some of the taverns and some raucous laughter from within, but most of the people stumbling around the city right now are drunk or up to no good, as are the four of you.
We're
And-
both,
Say,
baby.
We're both.
Within a few within less than an hour, you are on the thoroughfare to the Richelieu estate, to which Venn knows very well. You dismount your horses and tie them off at a at a fence a little down the road, and the four of you skulk towards the house. I guess I'll have you all make some stealth checks. Change the music.
I've gone into shadow mode.
Sure.
Oh yeah, yeah. Carter's stealth training on the trip back is definitely taking an effect. I got a 21.
Oh, nice.
23.
So proud of him.
23,
22.
22.
25.
I still got the lowest.
So the lowest, but everyone got above
But-
a 20.
But
yeah, yeah.
Damn.
Plus 20s.
Yeah.
The road was good to us.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, it
y'all
was.
are
If only
trained.
we'd learned magic. I mean, damn.
This is like
This is-
baby town frolics.
Yeah, you quickly dart around, hop the fence.
Plus, if we get caught, I'm
to the-
supposed to be here.
to the
Sure.
back.
We're just a little
entrance of the
drunk. You were bringing us back to your place, like whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, you climb the back wall of the estate, through the gardens, and find the back pavilion with the doors closed, but not locked. Venehn is
them to
slips
lock these.
inside.
Do you see?
The-
No one around. No one in this house listens to me.
The home is quiet, is still. Venehn, you know that Lady Rishu's guard is at a minimum during the evening. There are a few that patrol overnight, but you know their routines and their patterns very well, and you're able to make your way through the house, the four of you quietly, sneaking up to the second floor and towards Amara's room. Is that where you're going?
That's where I'm going first.
Venehn, yeah, within moments you are standing outside of Amara's door.
I listen, see if I can hear.
Make a
shuffling around.
perception hearing.
Kind of like, I bet she snores like a bear.
You would know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. 17.
17. You put your hear the door. You hear very heavy, deep breathing from the from inside, a rhythmic sleep.
She's asleep. Somebody should keep watch. They shouldn't be back for a couple of minutes at least, but every once in a while, Gavin likes to, he wanders down here, goes out on the balcony, and has a smoke,
I'll keep an eye.
Open the door.
Door quietly.
Lift it just a little bit for that squeaky hinge.
Yeah, the door opens silently, as just enough for you to slip inside. Wait, who's going in? It's Venehn,
Yeah.
Garas.
I'll
So
stay
two.
outside because I've got good perception. I'll keep an eye.
I'll stay with Yas in case she unfortunately needs any like physical backup or anything.
Yeah. Two of you slip inside. It's dark in here. The only bit of light coming in from the outside, a little bit of moonlight peeking in through the curtains, casting across like the foot of the bed, where you can see like a shape underneath the sheets on the bed, a large shape.
So Venon's been in here a lot at this point, because there was
Yeah.
like that 6-month period where they were like together ish. I guess, I mean, other than like, I think he'll have Garas like point Garas to like her, like if she has like a writing desk or something.
Mhm.
I don't know, she's an important guard, she probably has to write missives or something, to that. And then we'll sort of poke around, like if he knows if there's anywhere that Amara like hides things, like squirrels things away.
Yeah.
Because at some point, I think he's probably definitely like tried to clock that, and she's like, "No, fuck off! Like I'm not gonna tell you that. I'm not gonna tell you about that stuff."
Let's call this a perception searching.
Search.
And yeah, I'll give you a situational +1 on it as well,
Okay.
because
Ooh.
you are familiar with this
It's
room.
fucking fire over here today.
Vetting gets a +1, Garrus, you don't. You can just do
Okay,
regular search roll.
I got an 18, but I got 6 stun points.
Okay. These would be exploration stunts. I'll allow y'all to stunt for these.
I got 17 again with 3 stun points.
Okay.
You said exploration, yeah.
Yeah, exploration stunts, yeah. Yeah, it's not role play and it's not combat yet.
Um,
I'm gonna use mine on speedy search.
yeah,
Complete
I'm
the test in
gonna
half the
use-
time.
I'm gonna do the same speedy search, and the object of my attention. Actually, no. I'm gonna do speedy search and efficient search.
Okay.
And I have 3, so I'll do speedy search and advantageous positioning.
Okay. Let's start with Garas. So the two of you make very quick work moving around this room. It's tidy. Like there's not a lot of the room itself is like this is the captain of the guard's quarters for Lady Rachel. There's not like a lot of personal effects in here. It didn't really befit her station to have many personal items within her room, and that hasn't changed since the time you've been gone. The Garrus, you move over to the writing desk, you said? Okay, you move over to a desk, you see some neat like stacks of papers. There's like a little log book. It's difficult to read in here. You don't have any light to read by in here unless you move to the window or something. Right. Do you have an idea of what Garrus wants to do here? The only source of light would be either back out in the hall or up to the window trying to catch some moonlight.
I'm gonna try to like move it, like try to pick up the documents, like kind of move it towards the window so we can see moonlight.
You grab this law book and a couple of letters and begin to or you grab some of these letters. Actually, yeah, it looks like there's some letters that were partially written. You grab some of those quietly, move over, and you begin to read. As you're reading through, there's very like neat, very like not unflourished, simple handwriting that is going over like the lady of the house is concerned, given recent events of and rising crime rates within the city, that there may be more need for guards, is looking to requisition more guards for her house staff. Any recommendations is always to be approved. It seems like this is probably like a normal correspondence. It's kind of going through some other issues, like the training of the last guards. We've already let go a few. Their decorum was not befitting Lady Richelieu's standards. We would hope that we will have less of a what's the word? There was a word I was trying to think of, but we will have less issues with that going forward. Please emphasize the necessity of maintaining the status of the mistress of the house. It's a pretty cut and dry letter. Venehn, you're searching, kind of like thinking back, the only time that you ever saw Amara like stash away any personal effects were within the wardrobe next near the bed. So you move over there and you quietly open and begin to thumb through some of the clothing and the effects in here. And there's something that you realize as you're going through it, that you finally kind of clock, and your positioning here kind of is like you're looking through.
You say it's advantageous.
Yeah, the clothing in here is rough, thick, kind of wool-lined clothing. You're going through like heavy boots. You're realizing this doesn't look like Amara's clothing. And you turn, and the figure of the bed kind of like in their sleep turns, and you realize there's a different person, and there's a gentleman that's sleeping in that bed. This is not, Amara is not in this room. Whoever this is, you don't recognize them.
Okay.
But none of Amara's effects are in here anymore.
Well, one of two things happened. Yeah, I think we'll catch Garrus's eye and kind of gesture towards the door.
Garas nods and puts the stuff back right where they're supposed to be and heads towards the door.
You sneak out, catching Carter and Yasmera in the hall, closing the door behind you.
Anything?
I seem to move away from the door to
Yeah.
whisper.
Yeah, kind of like out somewhere. Seems Amara's not the captain of the guard anymore.
She's already moved up.
Or she made her move and she's buried in the garden somewhere.
Okay.
But they were planning on sending her up and out.
There is a third option. Perhaps Amara is secretly a shapeshifter.
Can we wait to do jokes until we get back to the winery, please?
Sorry.
That's okay, it was very funny.
Speaking of Carter's humor, we could send her a dream. Tell her you'd like to meet.
There's an idea.
I would be happy to.
This one you are allowed to make as spooky, creepy, unsettling as possible.
I will attempt to give her permanent trauma.
Perfect.
I think she's already got some, but you know. It's a little more between friends.
So, are the four of you sneaking out?
Garas like glances at a really fancy looking bauble that's on a table, like something that looks really expensive, looks at the others, then looks at the bauble, looks at them,
But you can take it. They keep replacing it because I keep taking whatever's on that table.
and takes it.
Last
The
time it was a
letters.
vase.
I'm assuming they mentioned what they did see. Blah
Yeah.
blah
Yeah.
blah.
Yeah.
Did the letters expressly mention Lady Richelieu, or did they just say the lady of the house?
All they said was the lady of the house.
Looks at Ben.
I'll stop by the master bedroom.
I'm gonna take a peek. See what's going on in here.
She had a long time to potentially put things into place. It could already be done.
Now that would be something.
So you
Another
move-
thing for me to never forgive her for.
You skulk down the hall, and to the opposite side of the house, to a different wing that you know where Lady Richelieu's living quarters are. As you are about to reach the master bedroom, Venehn, you catch at the end of the hall a little bit of light coming from under the door of Lady Richelieu's private office.
Mira, put your listening ears on.
I'm all listen.
Okay. Do a perception hearing check as you head towards this door.
So 20 with 5 stunt points.
Okay.
553.
Is there anything you want for stunts?
Exploration.
Flirt with the door.
Flirt.
Not an option
Flirt with the door.
for
No.
exploration.
That's
You know, I just have to say it every time.
Advantageous positioning. And
What's the advantageous position of your choice you would like?
I'd like to, I think, just being by the door, but God forbid the door opens, being in a spot where if the
Okay.
if the door opens, I'm behind it, you know?
Okay.
And I think that makes me wonder, which I only need to do 2 for. Immediate make another perception test to discover a little more about the surroundings or the object of the test.
Okay. What additional check do you want to make?
If I could do a seeing too, like maybe getting to a place where I can maybe get either a look under the crack of the door or through a keyhole or something like
Okay.
that. Because
Yeah.
we know Amara pretty big and Lady Richelieu not so big. Just getting
Yeah, I
the
don't know if
vibe.
have Yasmera ever seen either of them?
I've heard plenty
You've heard
about Amara.
description. I was just saying,
Yeah.
like, you have no idea what.
I don't know what
you've
they
never
look
seen them,
like,
yeah.
but I do know Amara big and Lady
Yeah.
Richelieu old lady. So
But if Yaz were to
Yeah.
like describe them to Venn, I mean, he's spent so much time
middle
with
aged.
these people.
She's not. Yeah, she's not like ancient. Yeah, go ahead and make a perception. scene test.
700 years old.
700 years old. 663.
She looks like a lady of Orlais, and Amara looks like Venon's type.
Yeah, exactly. I can tell the difference. It's 12, 22 on the seeing
22.
test.
Okay.
She's amazing. She sees everything.
You move towards the door and listening, you don't hear any conversation, but you do hear like the rustling of like paper, maybe like page turning in a book or something. And so you crouch down and peer through the keyhole, and it's very hard to see through it, and you have a very limited scope on the room. However, you do see sitting at a desk, you see a shape sitting at a desk that you would not consider to be a large person. See, like a slender frame.
Small.
She's still alive. She's still alive.
I mean, you could, if you want to let her know you're in town, you could very well just knock on the door and go have a conversation right now.
She would expect me to do something like that.
Give you an idea of where Amara is at the very least.
True. Leaves her quarters very open to walking around. You know, just in case. Alright. Give me 5 minutes.
We'll go keep an eye for the smoker.
And you know, if you want to do a little snooping.
Garas is already starting to steal another bauble. Got it.
Venehn could not give less of a shit if they steal from this lady.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
All right. So 3 of you skulk off somewhere else while Venehn, you stand to the door and knock.
Yep. I
You
feel like I'm gonna regret this.
knock on the door, and you hear the other side, kind of after a few months, says, "Yes,
Do I recognize the voice?
yeah, that sounds like Lady Risha."
Okay. I'm just crack the door. Don't like totally let myself in. Uh, my lady, I'm so sorry to bother you at such a late hour, but may I come in?
Venehn, darling, please come in.
I apologize it is so late, but I figured you'd want to know I was alive.
You head
I'll
into
shut
the
the door
room.
behind me.
Yeah, there's a fireplace crackling, some candles burning, giving off enough light for her to read by. She looks like she has a few books on the desk that she's going through, a bit of writing. She closes the book, kind of sets it aside,
Gives her a bow. Very
folds her
polite.
hands. Yeah. She says, "Well, no need for the apologies. I'm awake, aren't I? You returned, though. I trust your business abroad was eventful."
Extremely. I don't know that you would believe even half of it if I told you.
Please sit. She stands and she's wearing kind of like a nightgown with like a shawl wrapped around. She's dressed more in like evening wear, and she stands and moves to the side of the room where there's a carafe of wine and a couple of cups, and she pours two and places one in front of you, one in front of her. She actually moves around the desk to sit like in the chair next to you, to catch up. And she says, "Well, uh, I'm sure there will be plenty of time for you to fill me in, but uh, I suppose a summary would be pleasant."
I give a short summary. I leave out some of all of Minrathis.
Okay.
All of it. None of that. None of that's in the story.
Okay.
None of it. I can't think of anything in there that's relevant or that I should tell this woman. I think just gives a very brief summary. Kind of trying to focus on, like making it to Hossberg, like that. Lambert is there and well, and all that stuff, and kind of that bit of it.
That's wonderful to hear. I had received word that the siege of Habsburg has ended and that the Orlesian soldiers will be returning home shortly, or have begun their long journey back. You've certainly made good time in returning yourself.
Well, when you've traveled the wilds as much as I have, shortens the journey.
That makes sense. Well, I suppose your late visit this evening wasn't merely to catch up. Is there something you need or that you wish to tell me?
Well, I did get back literally today. I just didn't want to leave you waiting. And I suppose I wanted to see if anything had changed while I was gone. At least think I'm still welcome in the house.
Well, of course, darling, you're welcome. Yes, actually, well, I'd planned on telling you when you returned. A bit of unfortunate business while you were away, but I'm sure you'll find out soon enough.
What happened?
Well, the short story is Amara is no longer in my employ.
Oh, well, it is unfortunate.
For many reasons, but well, I trust you can be sensitive with some of the details here.
Who would I tell?
Oops. There had been some whisperings amongst the house that Amara was troubled, and she had approached several members of my own guard and administration in my estate with ill words towards me and my family. To the point that it appears her resent had grown to a level that there were threats of assassination.
She never struck me as the type.
She never spoke to you or approached you on this matter.
No, I mean, you know, she didn't exactly enjoy speaking with me.
Go ahead and make a cunning deception check. Or communication deception.
Ooh. $19?
Okay. She watches you as you answer and turns back to her wine, taking a sip of it. She says, "Well, that's good to hear. I'm glad you weren't. Well, you didn't see her in that state, but there had been some trouble with my estate before your time here, and I had had. This isn't the first time I've had members of my staff who betrayed my trust or threatened my safety. You know how the game is played here after your time in Val Royale.
Of course.
I believe that, though I do not have any evidence, that she was approached by another family that seeks to undermine me, seeing as I have no heirs, and sought an ample opportunity to climb in station for themselves by supplanting me. But news of this treason reached my ears, and we were able to inform the Imperial Guard in time. Amara has been tried and is now in prison.
Oh. They move quick.
Well, it was a matter of public safety, of course.
Of course, of course. I mean that as as an utmost compliment. I am only sad that I was not here to assist you.
Well, I did. It may have made things easier, it may not have, but what is done now, and we will move forward, being ever vigilant of those that are envious of our station.
Of course. If I may, who has taken her place?
Oh, nobody that I believe you have acquainted. I had a recommendation after having to remove Amara as my personal, as captain of my guard and attendant here. I received a recommendation from an old friend, Octavian, is the name of the gentleman that has taken Amara's place.
That doesn't
No,
ring a
sorry,
bell.
no.
Okay. Oh.
Comes from a good family and many recommendations, served with the Imperial military. I have good reason to believe he is a man of upstanding character. We will not see a similar problem arise.
Is he of noble blood?
Technically speaking, yes. Third cousin of a small marquis. No one of note.
Well, here's hoping that he will serve you better than Amara ever did.
I do hope so. Amara, despite everything that happened, she was an asset to my home and my dealings. I'm sad to have lost her in this way, but Well, we do what we must.
We live and we learn. Well, I am glad to return to see you whole.
As am I. I had feared for your safety, knowing the dangerous lands that you traveled. I am happy to see you in one piece.
That means more to me than I can ever express.
Enjoy your time through your journey.
Extremely.
You may. Your room is still available if you wish to sleep here for the evening.
Thank you. I think I will do that.
Wonderful. Well, please carry on, get some rest.
Yes, I will refrain from disturbing you further, my lady. Again, always a joy and a pleasure to see your face. And I'm at your disposal once again.
But I'm sure we will have business to discuss in the future.
It seems like it.
Have a good evening.
Leave.
All right. You leave Lady Richelieu to her reading and find the others wherever they've skulked off to within the manor. Unless y'all kind of rendezvous outside to avoid risking the evening patrols.
I want to add in that Carter has pulled out his piece of charcoal that he used to draw with and is defacing some of these statues in the manner like adding on unibrows and mustaches and
It's good.
cross-eyed.
Yeah, I mean, Venehn gets back and then
Yeah.
vandalism starts
Oh
happening.
yeah.
I'm sure no lines will be connected there.
Still doing it.
No, it's fine. It's not like that. Nothing to
Nice power wash on that. It'll be fine.
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
so torn between leaving and staying and having everybody stay in Venon's room, but like hiding to see if anybody comes in the middle of the night and tries to murder it. Probably not.
Yep.
How likely is it? Yeah, he's gonna stay.
By yourself?
I mean, the invitation is open. We just might have to stuff
We're
somebody in a
staying with you.
wardrobe.
Oh, staying. Yeah.
We literally just spent weeks. Yeah, like that's fine.
Good old-fashioned stakeout. Just to see.
Okay.
I'm not letting you get murdered in your bed tonight. You're gonna have to trip over me first.
All right. The four of you sneak into Venon's room, and close and lock the door, I assume, and head off to sleep. I assume one of you keeping watch.
Carter picks a book up of Vin's nightstand and goes, "The Mothman Mailman." Vin.
That's the sequel, actually. Do you want to borrow it? It's good.
Yes.
I got one about Bigfoot, too, if you're interested.
Let me get that one.
I read that
Oh
one. It was
my.
good.
I definitely want that one.
Sure, Yaz will stay up with a bottle of wine for a little longer. Let everybody else sleep. Finish her smut that she fully intends to take immediately to Wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do it.
All right. You all begin to rest. Some of you reading to keep watch. Some of you trying to get some sleep in the bed. Venehn.
Me.
Make a roll for me. Just roll 3D. Just roll a 3d6.
Okay.
Luck roll.
Oh,
No, I just don't want to tell you what modifier you're rolling.
11. That's 14 on the dice. 6, 5, 3.
Okay. Let's see.
Hope it's one of the good ones.
oh boy.
It's willpower. You're a tower of will.
Yeah.
It's fine.
You're a tower. Yeah, that's right.
I
You have a tower
got
will.
4 in willpower now.
No, you start to go to sleep. You lay down in bed. It's soft. It's the softest bed you've slept on in a while. And you're just tired. Just very tired. And maybe it's just the exhaustion, but you're starting to feel a little dizzy too.
Oh.
But you're not sure. I mean, it could just be it's been a long day, a lot of travel, but
You didn't have any wine with her, did you?
everyone who Yaz, make me a I guess Yaz, and who else was staying up?
This bitch trying to kill me. Carter.
I
Carter.
think so. Yeah, I've got a book to read.
Can
Yes.
I make a
Perception hearing
poison
checks.
lore
But you
check?
have no idea. You have no idea right now.
Okay.
I mean, Venn is just laying in bed, and I don't think Venn said anything yet.
No, it's one of those kind of like lay there and see if it goes away. That's what I would do.
6, 6, 4, 16. 23. With
The
3
only
stump
thing-
points.
The only thing I was noticing is the narrative genius of one Chuck Tingle.
Yeah,
Sick.
naturally.
23. Yaz,
With 3 stump points.
you realize you begin to hear something out in the hall, like from further in the house, like not right outside. You begin to hear a little bit of like hushed conversation, and you begin to hear some moving. And there's some sort of commotion happening further in the house, and it seems to be. And then you begin to hear sounds of what's probably like footfalls coming up the stairs.
Or somebody was trying to kill her.
Or someone was trying to kill her.
Does it get worse?
Venehn, what does Venehn do? You're like laying in bed. You're starting to feel a little bit dizzy.
I'm gonna sit up.
You sit up, and the world
Something's
starts to
going
like
on.
swim around you,
I mean, something's going on.
and you start to feel this like
Oh,
pain in your stomach.
Yes!
what?
I think our wine's poison.
Fuck. Can I do
begin to
poison
hear-
lore?
You hear the sounds of probably 10 sets of like heavy footsteps, like a group of people that are coming closer to Venehn's
We
door.
need to get out of here because either she's trying to kill me or they're trying to blame me for killing her.
Right.
Window.
Window.
I will hoist Ben. Fireman carry.
I will push open the window.
Didn't even
as-
ask me if I want a princess.
Do you want a princess?
No.
You begin to like get Venn out of the bed. Venn, everything is like saying like the pain is getting worse. Like you begin to feel like sweat, like
I'm going to die.
beating down your forehead. Everything is
me.
just like spinning,
Be
and
very quiet, but tell me everything you're feeling. So
you
we can
don't have
figure out what the
time
fuck
to.
this
You can
is.
either do that and try to focus on that right now, or you can get out. That's
We're
the
getting
two
out. We're
options.
getting out.
You hear the sound of somebody trying to open the door, which is locked, and there's like a and you hear folks, door's locked, kick it down. And you begin to hear boom, boom against the door as multiple people are trying to force the door open.
I think
you-
since Carter can do his magic zippity zips, I'm gonna go last, and I'm gonna push like the bed and the bookcase, whatever I can in front of the door.
Okay, yeah. You start to push things against the door. You open up the door. There's a you're on the second floor. It's not like a far jump. I mean, probably hurt a bit if you just jumped out here, but there's grass and shrubbery
You're gonna
beneath
have
you.
to toss me.
So like you could make a you can make a dive out and aim for the bushes.
Acrobatics.
Is somebody helping Venehn?
I'm gonna just carry him. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want me? Because I'm probably stronger than you.
Sure, go for it.
Yeah. I'll carry Venehn, so Yasmera can do a flippy flip out.
Okay. I'll have the two of you make acrobatics checks to try to duck and roll. So Garas, you're carrying Brandon?
Yeah, I'm carrying Venehn. Yeah.
All right, you're gonna do this with a -3.
Okay. Because my strength is 5, would that maybe bump back up to a -2?
No.
Okay.
You're jumping
So
out
not
of
how
the floor.
stats work.
I'm just asking. You
That was
never
I
know.
expect the hustle, but no.
22. Triple fives. On fire tonight.
The three of you
21 for me.
the three of you jump out. Garrett's able to mitigate a lot of it. You kind of like hit like very heavy with Venehn kind of on top of you, trying to cushion as much of the blow as possible. It's still a pretty hard impact on the ground. You've been here shouting from inside. Lights are coming on. Carter, you've pushed the bed up against the door.
Nobody's home.
Just as the wood begins to splinter.
He sounds just like me.
Carter, you making a jump for it too?
I'm gonna do Fate Step. Is it less than like 30? Fuck, it's like 30 yards. And I could if I don't blow up, I could do that.
You can definitely face up. Just roll to see if
Cool.
you blow up.
This
Nope.
wouldn't be the worst place for you to blow up.
Yeah, it wouldn't be.
Sure.
Yeah, be a big distraction.
I just suddenly turn into an abomination and they come in.
Oh well.
All right.
Abomination was very subtle about this.
You jump out the window, or you quickly fade step out. All of you on the ground. Venehn, everything is hurting. You feel like your body is on fire. As Yaz and Carter and Garas begin to pull you out into the night and rushing into the city as the Richelieu estate comes to light. We're gonna go ahead and take our break here.
Boy.
I almost said something during that conversation about pretending to drink the wine. And I didn't.
You didn't.
Because that's boring.
That's boring. I like this better. All right. We're gonna go and take our break, everyone, and we'll come back. This got a lot more dramatic than I was expecting.
Boy, howdy.
I told
So-
you that I was gonna get up
He
to some
did-
stuff.
he
No,
did
and
warn
I
about
had
bullshit.
this all planned. It's just like kind of everything worked out in a way where I got to do the thing. I never get to do the thing I have planned.
You're
Usually
welcome.
something happens and it stumbles, like you faking drinking it or something.
You're
Or
welcome.
not staying in the house.
Venehn always picks the most dramatic option.
Thank you everyone for watching. We're gonna take a quick break here. We'll be back in a few minutes. We recommend you do the same stretch, get some water, whatever you need to. But we'll be back in a few minutes, so stay tuned.
To see if I die.
You won't die.
Welcome back, internet. Thanks for hanging out with us while we took our break. We're gonna jump right back into our game and where we a little bit after where we left off. I think I kind of want to just cut the scene forward a little bit with y'all having made your escape to busting in through the front doors of the Red Jenny Winery. Venehn being carried by Garas is feverish and beginning to is sort of still Venehn still in pain, still like fighting off whatever this is in your system. but still alive. You throw Venn down onto drop Venn down to a table for him to lie out and shut the door behind you.
Full investigation mode. Lay him down, checking pulse, looking at pupils, asking as many questions as possible. Running down to our little lair downstairs, or maybe that's just where we took him. But that's probably just where we took him. Grabbing all her supplies, trying to figure out what this is. Can I roll that poison lore?
Yes, yeah. If you want to roll a poison, so was it cunning poison lore?
Cunning poison lore. Yep.
Okay.
Could I assist with a heal check?
Sure. Well, you roll that first, Carter, because you're trying to get an idea of her of Ben's symptoms, what he's suffering. So let's do that. So you do a medicine check first, and depending on how this goes, they'll give a modifier to Yasmera's check.
Okay.
16 4 stunts.
Okay. Yeah, Venehn, I assume, is trying to articulate as many symptoms as possible. You're going over like is clammy, is sweating a lot, is eyes are like rapidly dilating, having like kind of a hard time breathing. It hasn't it kind of hit the worst of it about the time you were like running through the streets. It hasn't gotten any worse since then. Seems to like plateaued a little bit, but then you still feel like shit. But yeah, Carter, you get those symptoms, and you're able to describe, to kind of relay to Yaz like what you are seeing, and Yaz, in the like limited research materials you have, you are trying to identify what this might be.
Yes.
Go ahead and you make your poison lore check, and I'll give you a +1 on it.
Okay. So that would be, that's a 553. 3 on the dragon die. And that's +7, so that's a 20, plus the 1 is a 21.
Okay. You are you take the information that Carter's giving you, and take in a lot of like kind of quickly flipping through the books that you have here on the counter, and trying to identify what it might be. You I imagine at some point picked up a book that, at least like with identifying the poisons, even if it might not tell you how to make each one of them, or like what the specific compounds in each one might be, but at least to maybe help you in figuring out what kind of poison this could be. You limit it down to a couple, and you're going between those and kind of what you would need to do, and get a few more of the symptoms from Carter, figuring out like the timeline of everything. It takes a bit, probably. It's been about 30 minutes or so of Yaz going through these books and trying to figure out what the poison is, while Venn, and what's going through Venn's mind right now.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's just a lot of retracing what happened, trying to think of like anything else that could be important to figure out what this is and if it's going to kill me.
Yeah, you're kind of like,
yeah, I think it's just sort of like replaying.
You're replaying those moments in like the moment you're having. I mean, it all comes down to seeing, like, speaking of Lady Richelieu, her giving you the wine, and I mean, you can't think of anything else that comes to mind, like where else that could have come from, and your mind plays back, like you begin to sort of like hallucinate a little bit, and starting to get like flashes of like what's really happening, hearing the muffled conversations of Yasmera and Carter, as they're discussing what's happening. I assume Garas panicking in the corner, trying to do what you can, maybe getting some water or something to like cool off Venehn, or trying to get him to drink some water. Um, but everything is just kind of going by in a blur, and you find yourself kind of like losing sense of like what is happening around you, and you're seeing like Lady Rishu's face in your mind, and it's bringing you back to a different memory, and you begin to think back to the first time you met Lady Richelieu, and or earlier on in your time working for her, and you remember this woman offering you this job. You, a Dalish elf who just arrived in Valreo, missing your arm, trying to find work wherever you could. And what do you think you first approached Lady Richelieu like for your position working for her? Like, because you wouldn't have been like a bodyguard or like a your options were limited having lost your arm at that point. Like, do you approach like maybe like serving staff or something in her home, or
Something like
how
that,
far
yeah.
how far had Venn fallen at that point?
Oh, I mean, pretty far, because that's like, I mean, the bow is his whole thing. So I think, yeah, I just like worked for her in the house for a while, and then like, I mean, he's a shady motherfucker. So
Yeah. And you remember the first conversations, her pleasant smile, the same one you saw her sitting across from you, and her looking you over, and Amara her like standing behind her in the back, like kind of scowling, as she was wont to do. And Lady she was saying, well, of course, we can certainly find you a place here. I don't mean to pry, but I see that you seem to have injured yourself. Do you mind if I ask how that happened?
I don't know how much he told her. It's probably like there was an accident among my people. Fire.
That's tragic. I'm sorry to hear that. You know, if you wish to work for me, I'd be happy to find a place for you. But sizing you up a bit, I've always had a keen eye for reading people. You seem far more capable than a simple kitchen servant. I'm sure we could find more productive ways for you to use your skills.
If you have work that needs to be done.
Would you, I don't mean to be indelicate in saying this, but if I had a solution for you restoring your missing arm, would that be something that you'd be interested in?
My life has been a lot of things, my lady. It's never been delicate. So yes.
I have some friends that might be able to help. And the vision kind of fades, and you don't really remember the next bit. I don't imagine Venehn doesn't really remember the whole process of getting his arm and how that worked, but you remember Lady Richelieu introducing you to somebody who specialized and who had some. This is when you first got more contact with kind of her criminal connections,
Mhm.
and probably the most you ever had contact with anyone other than Lady Richelieu herself when she introduces you to one of her colleagues that seems to be a you remember them smelling acrid, like there was a bad smell in the air, something foul and unnatural, and in the home, in the like in this basement that of their business that had been on the outside some sort of like curiosity shop, but underneath there just something was wrong about this place. And I remember there being a lot of like strange things around, but your attention was drawn to this person, and in the mind everything's sort of blurry. And they say, well, yes, I'm sure we can find something. The procedure will be very painful, I'm afraid, but I have some tonics that I can administer that would alleviate any discomfort you might have. There will also be some. You will need certain protections that put in place. Bindings for the armor that you'll have to keep on at all times. But I'm sure it's a small price to pay for the restoration of your missing appendage.
It is.
Wonderful. Please sit here. You remember like taking you to this room and this like bench here that you're laying down on, and you remember it being like this like stone bench that seemed like felt kind of oily to the touch. Everything just kind of like just uncomfortable, and him administering some tonic and the world kind of fading, and it's kind of like bringing you into this like hallucinatory state. And then you remember something. A memory returns to you that you did not have before, that of something during the procedure, a brief conversation. You don't remember seeing anything, but you don't remember Lady Rishu being in the room, but clearly she was, because you're hearing her voice speaking with this man. And he says, well, I'm very excited to have the opportunity to attempt this. This is, well, knowing you know my history well enough to know that I never had the opportunity to previously, so this will be very exciting. Are you sure that, do you have the appropriate subject for the transfer? And Lady Rishu says, yes, I believe so. If this helps your studies, I would be delighted to see how this happens. Wonderful. Well, we will I will get started right away at that. And please, she says, and please emphasize the need to keep the bindings in place. We wouldn't want any doubts in poor Venen's mind. Oh, of course. I'll make sure I make that warning paramount. And the vision begins to fade, and Venehn kind of convulses for a bit and like loses consciousness on the table, but his breathing starts to return a little. And Yaz, just as you're finding the page in the book, and you realize you've isolated it down to a couple, and you realize you think you know which poison this is that was used, and you breathe a sigh of relief because Venen's still alive, and that means Venenn is not going to die, because the poison that was likely used on Venenn was the Quiet Death. And from this poison, you know that is infamous among assassins, and actually probably something that you're
I
familiar
was
with
just
your
reading
family.
that one.
Basically, it either kills you or it doesn't. And the idea, the lore around it is that it kills the victim instantaneously, but it doesn't if the victim is destined for greater things. And that's sort of like some superstition around it. But basically, if it's going to kill you, it does it immediately.
What can I say? I'm a tower of will, baby.
But yeah, it is a target number 19 Constitution stamina test, but you get to add your level to it. So Venehn did succeed on rolling a 14. So because you had a 14 plus 2 plus 11. So you were safe. There was a very
You
low chance that
remember
would kill you at this
all
level.
those
but
years ago, when we made these characters, and I thought stamina will probably come in handy.
it did. It did.
did.
Mostly being
Yeah.
a level 11 did, but
Mostly being 11, yeah.
I'm gonna say that I saw this coming.
Yeah, with a plus 13 on the roll, like you would have had to roll very low, but again, it
Could have.
happened.
It could have happened.
Could have, yeah.
So
I think he has very sardonically laughs. You are a brilliant bastard. All right. You're not going to die.
oh, Venehn's unconscious. Venehn's
She still yells
unconscious.
it at him. And gets to work, just doing whatever
Yeah.
she can.
You know, at this point, like you don't really need it to make an antidote or anything. It's mostly just like what Venehn is
Clear his
experiencing is just-
system, give him a lot of water.
Yeah, but he'll recover probably in a few hours.
Yucky charcoal water, that whole thing.
And yeah, if we want to skip to Venehn awaking, eventually a few hours later,
Venehn wakes up, realizes he's awake, keeps his eyes closed, and then listens to make sure all of his friends are in the room, and then goes very dramatically.
Yes, pulls her fucking crossbow. Are you kidding me? Huh.
Garas falls out of his chair because he was like right next to Venehn's the table Venehn was on.
Got you.
You
We got you.
bastard!
Fucking
Oh my
funny.
god!
Is this hell?
Hits him with a napkin.
It always has been, but no different than earlier.
Okay, so what happened there? I mean,
You were given the quiet death.
There's your mistake right there. Nothing about me is quiet.
I guess I saved you.
Legend says those that survive it are destined for greater things.
I mean, don't feed his ego anymore.
Just saying.
So I'm not
You
going
should
to
be.
die.
You,
Well,
by
not
all
now.
rights, should be dead. But you're not.
Not the first time anyone said that to me.
What happened in there?
Classic poison wine.
Did you see her drink it?
Thought I did.
Right? So, either she was faking it or I wouldn't put it past someone of her stature to have immunized herself to certain poisons.
There have been
Also
several
plus
attempts
one.
on her life.
Quite possible.
I saw something, or remembered something.
What?
Just will describe the memory in as much detail as he can.
Wait.
Did you say that Lady Richelieu had a love of Amara's killed?
That's what the Mara told me.
Did
You
you
have
ever
his-
see him?
No, I never met him.
You may have his arm.
Okay.
This does put her behavior further into perspective.
What the fuck? That's a lot of speculation that we're doing.
During
When
the time period, right as you came on.
when we heard the footsteps, we didn't hear them go to her room. They came directly towards
They
our
came
room.
Just
straight to us.
Venen's room.
Mhm. Yeah.
Something interesting. When we were escaping, we heard a bunch of footsteps coming our way, the guard or whatever, but they didn't go to her room. They
It was a
came
setup.
directly to this room.
It was
The
a
room we
setup.
were in. Yeah.
And if it was a setup, she has eyes on us, as she would have had to have known of our arrival with enough time to prepare this little event.
I need to talk to Amara.
You said she's in prison.
Yep.
Know which prison she's in.
The one. So,
Yeah, there's only one. The Valrio.
the one.
Prison,
The bad
yeah.
one. The one that they have here.
Anyone have any contacts? Or are we sending her a very detailed dream?
I need to talk to her.
Could try to pull some strings with the people we know. We know a lot of people in the system, so
I'm sorry this happened.
You didn't do anything.
no, you didn't do anything at all. Don't apologize.
I underestimated her.
Well, she underestimated you right back.
Apparently, I'm destined for greater things.
Well, I guess one of these greatest things
poison to
involved.
Venom. I should have done a different poison. Now that it's gonna take us
No, it's perfect.
It's perfect, though.
Perfect.
And I think the greatest achievement of my career is going to be putting a knife through Lady Richelieu's throat.
Mhm.
I could use a bigger house with a nicer bedroom.
So, I want to pull us out of this scene a little bit because I don't want. Because here's what I'm gonna say. Unless there's y'all can wrap up anything else you want, but we have some downtime to cover, and this is taking up most of the session at this point. We'll probably be doing more stuff
Sorry.
next session. No. I'm glad we did. This needed to happen.
This was
Very
great.
fun.
This was
yeah,
great.
Yeah.
Very good. This was
fucking
awesome.
mind blown.
We're not gonna have to do a whole score with Venehn trying to get in. Well, I think that's a good scene for us to do as part of downtime stuff with
Yeah, I
Venehn
just
getting
wanna
in
talk to her.
to go talk to Amara. The things that I want to the thing that I will cover here and kind of the immediate fallout of this, a few days or like the next day, some guards come by the winery looking for Venehn. I assume Venehn hides in the cellar.
I'm so hidden. I'm just in
uh,
the fucking basement taking a nap.
Yeah. There are wanted posters around Valreal.
Oh, guys, we should fake my death.
Venehn is officially a wanted criminal.
Garrus
in-
frames
Not
the
first
wanted
time.
Garrus frames
Not the
the
first
wanted
time.
poster and puts it in the basement.
Oh yeah, we have it in the basement. Yeah, we're
Yeah,
gonna
it's
collect
framed.
them.
Yeah,
it's gonna be great.
framed and it's looking.
It's a
beautiful as our
collectible.
first
Ben
wanted poster.
signs it. It's
the
great.
tattoos, the Valisland, they're so wrong. It's like they didn't
Uh,
even try.
And then if you
It says
sneak,
fried chicken. It's weird.
if you sneak into the city at any point, you do also recognize that there's a much heavier guard presence around Lady Richelieu's estate.
That's okay, they can die too.
It is very well fortified now. against any.
Now we're gonna go on a rampage. Now it's rampage time.
It's rampage time.
But we still have some time left in the session, so I did want to offer it out again. I want to cover the immediate here. If there's anybody wants.
Yeah, take
to
the mic away
talk
from me.
to. Yeah.
I want to sneak off and try to find Wolf.
Okay.
I also want you to do
I
this.
want this also.
Yeah.
Do you take my copy of the Mothman Mailman with you?
Please say yes.
No,
Or is
actually,
it Bigfoot? Is it Bigfoot?
I sneak into your bedroom and grab the Bigfoot one. Actually, yeah.
You can
Yeah.
just ask to borrow it.
Of course, she would not ask. She would totally sneak in and take it, and then bring it back.
I want to know if I clock her sneaking in to take it.
I will roll stealth check.
I'll fucking roll.
All right, let's do this.
Is this fear? Does this have anything to do with fear?
I don't think.
Sure. Yeah. No, she does. She does not want you to know.
I'm using my fear bonus.
Okay.
You roll triple sixes.
Did you roll triple sixes?
I
I
hope
rolled
it's
2
good
6s
ones.
and a 5.
Fuck you! I mean, I rolled 6, 4, 3, but okay. 16,
That's
13.
23, baby. What you got?
Yeah, 21. You
Ah!
beat me.
I'm destined for greater things.
Oh my god, Luke. Oh my gosh.
Venom pretends
Incredible.
to be asleep and doesn't say anything. But he knows.
Oh, he knows.
That will never happen again. I will never roll that good ever again on perception. There's no way.
Never.
Oh, that was a good roll too. It was a 6, 4, 3. I mean, like,
Yeah.
Jesus.
You can't.
Look,
I'm
he's
d-
den-
I'm-
he's
I was in
destined for
shadow
greatness.
mode. I'm like always in shadow mode. She's
Destined
just
for
always in
greatness.
shadow
Yeah,
mode.
but Venehn is stuck in the basement and really bored.
All right. Yes, she'll take the Bigfoot book. She'll take the very many months of smut that she has coded and written, and yeah, try to track down Wolf.
While Yasmera is out, so she'll only see it when she gets back. He sneaks into her room and takes a couple other monster fucker smut and just sets them on her pillow.
Yeah, so within the first couple of days that you're in, you go find try to Wolf. You ask a few people at the winery where Arlo and Wolf have been, because they've been by pretty frequently, but mostly have been keeping in the city. Arlo, they've been staying at a an apartment in Valro, but they have been kind of keeping up appearances. Arlo's been continuing to work as a bard, doing his normal barding for nobility. You find Arlo in a he's the easier one to find out of the two. He's very excited to see you and to hear that you've all returned safe and sound.
Tells him we have an epic story for him. We're gonna just tell all of the bards we know about the wild shit that happened. Like, everyone's gonna be singing about brood mothers. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. Is a little concerned about the wanted posters that are now popping up for Venehn around town. But yeah,
We'll talk about that later.
tells you that Wolf has still been maintaining appearances as Arlo's bodyguard, but has dropped a little bit of that guys recently, not wanting to was still presenting as through most discerning eyes as a crow, and has been trying to maintain or build a kind of a better cover, and has actually been working as a in a glass blowers forge in the lower city, and has been spending most of their time there. So you point.
They blow glass.
Oh yes. I'm as surprised as you are. I don't hear much about Wolf's personal life, but apparently they're very good at it.
Oh, he got lung control. Okay.
So, trust me, I don't quite understand it, but something about maintaining appearances, building a cover, identity, all sorts of stuff. So, yes, you can find on the outskirts of the alienage, there's a glassblower shop that they've been working out of. So, if you
All
wanted
right.
to say hi,
Thought I'd check in.
right.
Well, glad you're well.
Very well. You?
As well as we could be, given the circumstances.
Well, that's good to hear. So, I suppose you'll be going to see Wolf now.
Sure, along my way today.
I don't mean to keep you if you have business. So,
Got a couple errands, things, again, with one short coming into the city right now. A couple things to do, so.
like I said, I've got some clients to see and a few performances later tonight. So,
Of course.
if I see you there, I'll see you there. If not, enjoy your time back home.
Take care. Just
As you
awkwardly
leave,
like
begins to sort of sing, like as he's turning around, begins to sing a very popular but very raunchy like ballad, just kind of like half singing like and like as he's leaving, like not very subtly knowing exactly what's going on between you and
shoots
Wolf.
a glare back at him, but like,
He's turned around and is walking the other way. You find this
I think
small...
I should say before she left, Yaz looks great. Yaz, like everything, like put on her best stuff, did the hair, shined the horns, looking great.
You looking as polished as you can, find head towards the alien edge. You can see little elven children running around, kicking a ball through the streets, and there's this quiet little glass blower's shop. You can see like there's some chimes hanging in the windows, some pieces like on display in the front, and you enter in this human, kind of older human woman with a kind of thick wrinkle, or like very creased wrinkles across her face and kind of weathered skin. Gives a smile as you enter. She says, "Oh, welcome. Can I help you find anything today?"
Oh, I was just hoping to peruse. You have many fine wares, I see.
Well, please, if there's anything that you catches your eye, I'd be happy to sell. I can give you a discount even. Where business has been a bit slow lately, so we're trying to get through some wares here. If there's anything custom you're looking for, just let me know as well.
I have an affinity for crows.
Crows? Like the bird?
Like the bird.
Sort of a dire thing. We can try. The coloring would be difficult. If we do anything in a different color, I think there's a blue jay or robin or something. I suppose we could try that. Dark with glass. Let me ask my printer. Zarin, and calls back, and you see moving very gracefully out from the back a tall taller.
No one's tall next to.
No,
yeah.
next to you. But you see long blonde hair that is sort of braided tightly to keep it out of their face, looking kind of a bit of soot, and you see kind of sweating a little bit near the forge, wearing a kind of like a heavy apron, but you see Wolf as they come out and say, right, ma'am, what's you need? And sees you and says, oh, customer, I suspect. What's he looking for? And the woman says, well, this fine woman here has she's looking for a particular piece, a little more intricate styling. Wants a crow made, and you see just the hint of like a flinch from Wolf. Says, crow, mum. That sounds a bit complicated. I'm not sure we could do something like that.
I've heard tale of the exquisite work of this establishment. I feel you might be up to the challenge.
Well, how about this? Why don't I get the details of what you're looking for? And well, we have a delivery out in the back. You probably want to look it over, make sure everything's there. And the woman says, oh, right, I'll do that. And, Zahn will get this. It's apprentice of mine was doing far good work, more talented than I was at their age. Help the young lady and we'll get you settled. Appreciate your
Thank
business. And she heads on back, and as she leaves, you hear the sound of the door. Wolf turns to you and says, really?
I'm back.
You're back, yes. And immediately came to blow my cover. I'm going to have to find a new job now.
I felt I held your cover quite well.
Really? Came in here completely out in the open and asked for a crow.
Of course.
Right. I'm glad you're back.
Thank you.
So I suppose everyone's back. I don't assume you'd be coming here so chipper if Garas was
We
dead.
did lose Garas in the fight.
That's what I figured.
It was a noble death.
Was it?
We're going to say it was, for the bards.
That's fair. Shame. Well, as long as everybody else is fine, though.
Everyone is well.
No, but certainly I'm glad to hear that everyone's okay. Sure, Arlo would be happy to hear that as well.
I stopped by to see him already.
Oh, good.
It's how I knew where to find you.
That makes sense. Well, I'm happy for the diversion and happy that Arlo will have somebody else to bother. He's gotten a bit smug, I think, taking the persona a bit too much to heart.
I would say the same for you.
I'm pinnacle of professionalism.
You blow glass.
Yes.
Is this a long time hobby or?
No, I simply just stepped in and thought, hey, might give it a shot.
Honestly, I wouldn't put it past you.
Yes, I've had some experience from previous covers and helped to have a trade to blend in. Masonry really wasn't my forte.
Well, I would love to get a piece or two.
Looks around the shop and says, well, I have plenty. Going to peruse, or I can have something custom made for you and deliver it later.
Well, I am always a fan of custom work. I'll leave it to the artisan, of course.
Well, I will get right on that then.
I
I
something
suppose-
for you.
Really?
course. Hands them the package of the deciphered smut that they gave her, the new smut that is a DC 20 to decipher. So they wrote that down. And the Bigfoot book, just cuz. Kind of wrapped up in a package.
You they take it and like hold the 3 books. Tell me the first one sees you're deciphered and reads through and says, I say I need to make your work more challenging next time. You're welcome to keep this so you don't have to go through the effort again. And opens up the one that's your cipher. Hold on, let me roll. Gonna take a. Hold on 1 second.
This is a vital roll, folks. Vital.
They open it up and flip through it. Just turns a couple of pages and raises an eyebrow, closes, says, the cipher's not the most challenging, but the writing's really good.
What did they roll?
I'm gonna post it in the chat.
I should have been. I had a 25. I rolled trip 6 on this bitch. No fucking way.
Wow.
Oh, I should have left it. Damn it.
Triple
Sixes.
Yeah.
sixes.
So that plus 10 is a 28.
10?
Wolf.
This is what Wolf
definitely-
does.
This is what
If
Wolf
I even if I'd
does.
left it, they would have gotten it by 3.
Mhm.
So this is Wolf. Wolf smiles, closes the voice, says, I'll leave the rest of it to read later. Inappropriate work. And then looks at the other book and says, I don't think I've read this one.
I will need that back. It's a lender.
Venehn's?
Mhm.
He tucks that away too. He lent me the last one in the series. So.
Oh, good, okay. They're standalone, but it's nice to have the little.
Right. This has some connecting tissue. There's some themes that I enjoy.
Mhm.
Oh, I suppose I'll see you tonight.
I'd like that.
You hear some like commotion in the back and says, Zara, you help me get these boxes in. They're a bit challenging, heavy. My back is. I need to sit down for a bit.
Hands over some silver. Just grabs whatever, something pretty.
They turn and say, right, coming, Mom. I'll be there in a minute. And says, oh, sure. It takes the silver from you and says, tonight. Tucks away the coin and heads back into the
Saunters
shop.
out.
Excellent. Let's see. I don't know if we have any time. Probably don't have any time to do anybody else's immediate scenes. So we'll leave on the so for Carter and Garas, we'll do anything you want to immediately do when you get back into the city the beginning of the next session. And then for everyone, we'll do some pick like one scene of importance for you over the next coming like months, and then we will fully commit to our time jump after that and kind of retroactively describe everything that happened to y'all in the meantime and what y'all got up to. So lots of stuff going on. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for our session tonight, everyone. Lots of shit going on. Glad we didn't end on
So much just happened, you guys. So much just happened.
Oh
Glad we
my
didn't
gosh.
End on Ven's almost death. That would have been dramatic. But yeah, so we don't have. I always get like so much in my head. It's like end of session questions or something like that. We don't have any of that. But let's go around to our stars and wishes for tonight. Do we want to start at the top as usual? Do we want to go reverse order? Do we want to pick on someone in the middle?
I don't care.
Free for all. Okay. Van,
Do
you wanna
it.
go first?
Yeah, sure. Cause my star is gonna go to Sid and Yaz. It's mostly Sid, but a lot of it is Yaz too. For picking up poison lore and then just immediately being like, I know this poison. Let me do it. Let me do it, Val. The poison lore.
It's good
She
timing.
had the poison brain rot. And it was also very good timing. But yeah, I'm really glad Yasmera knew enough about poison to look it up and be like, good news, you're not gonna die. This time, idiot. Yeah, it just, I don't know, it just gives
It
just
was
worked.
perfect thematically.
It just
like,
worked. It's
The
like she knew.
poison itself,
That was
everything.
perfect
Yeah, it
timing.
was great. It was great. And I loved it. And I love being in danger of dying. It's one of
Yeah,
my
it's
favorite
fun.
things.
It's
So
so
much
much
fun.
Now we just need Carter and Yasmir to have an almost death, and all four of us could have had an
Mhm.
almost death.
Every time I cast a spell.
Okay,
Yeah,
so all we
you
need
are
is
sort of
Yasmir.
I
riding
was about to
riding
say.
that wave.
Cardinals had a few, actually. It's just been
in other
real
words,
subtle.
we just need it for Yasmir then. Yasmir needs to have an almost death situation.
You
One
know,
of these cups is poison.
Mhm.
Yeah, I love near-death experiences. What can I say?
I'm glad to give them.
It's my other star. I didn't think about my wish. I just want us to... I don't know, I love backstory and I love lore and I want to continue doing that kind of thing, and I just want us to have the best time ever going after this lady and all of her fucked up shit. Lady Richelieu is gonna burn.
Oh, she's gonna die.
100%.
She gonna die.
Get to it.
It's less of a wish and more of a warning.
Yes, this is a
This is a threat.
not a
Yeah.
wish.
It's a promise.
Yeah.
It's a promise. Lady Richelieu is gonna burn. What I really want is just an opportunity to have Yasmera forge some wonderful documents again, so it looks like Lady Richelieu is left her
Left
estate
everything to
us.
you.
Yeah, to me.
Yes. Exactly.
I feel like as soon as this happened, that was the first thing Yasmira did.
Yeah.
He's already started drafting them.
Or
Has
we
already
drafted
started
up the document.
drafting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could use a nice estate.
Mm-hmm.
A title? Oh my god, Ben with a title?
I'm
my
destined
gosh.
for greater
Lord.
things.
And there it is. There it is.
It's never gonna go
Nope.
away. You created an abomination.
Picked
And
the
his
wrong
name
poison.
Is Venehn.
Incredible.
And yeah, we all have to live with our choices.
Mhm.
Wonderful. Thank you, Van. Sid.
My star. There were so many lovely moments. I mean, I think my star does just have to go to Van and Ven and Ven. Ven had a time today. In so many ways. Not just almost dying, but that memory, the betrayal, the reverse betrayal. Yeah. And it was extremely interesting to see how this how it has and how it will play out for him. His reactions to it. It's fascinating. I can't wait. My wish Oh, like exactly what Yaz is going to do exactly what she was told not to do, and just try to decipher all of these prophecies, like hardcore, like just dive into them.
You're gonna go
And
full
will-
like red string, like
We expect
conspiracy
nothing less.
board.
100%.
No, yeah, exactly. Yasmera was given a riddle by a witch. She's gonna like delve deep into it.
Just delve way too far into it, and probably go a little nuts about it, and it's gonna be great. And I'm very excited.
We're gonna have a Yasmera murder board eventually in the basement.
Yeah. Right next to the signed wanted poster. So I'm excited. And that's me.
Lovely. Thank you, Wally.
My star goes to Yasmera/Sid because I love flirty, coy Yasmera. It's my favorite thing in the world. I love it because, once again, we just see that side of Yasmera that the others know are perfect or is there. They just choose not to, like. It's just that it's
Make her show it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's really nice to see. I always enjoy seeing that side of Yasmera. It's my favorite thing to see. I'm just a sucker for the stoic character who lets the guard down for one specific person. I mean, like everything down for one specific person, and you capture it so well every single week, and I adore it. My wish. Because Venehn has a wanted poster now, I just want now Garas and Venehn now have to do some disguise hijinks. And I already have ideas for that. And I am ready for this. Because you even said to me, oh, it's never gonna come. Oh, it's gonna come up. I will make it happen. But yeah, that's my wish. Disguise hijinks.
Wonderful. Yeah, I'm interested how the next 2 years play out with Venehn being Venehn fully leans into underworld persona, like master criminal, or just lays low until the heat dies down, or what happens
I have
there.
some thoughts.
Those wanted stars drop down before they send the tanks.
Yeah. Wonderful. Sita, you're last.
All right. I have there was this moment earlier in the session that involved all of us, and it was just my absolute favorite. I don't know if I'm right about my suspicions, but you could see me, Sid, and Wally all kind of each of us going.
Yeah, I put a marker in at that exact moment.
And I also loved Van struggling, you're just over there these goofs. yeah, that was so much fun. And Val just dropping it like that. That was awesome, and I loved it. So we all got a star.
Terrible person, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
What?
It was
Why?
As soon as she said experiments, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Listen, this
and it's
all Van.
So you've been with Amara.
Well, don't look at
with
me.
that
I
arm.
didn't.
No, I know. It's
That
yeah.
Val, that came out of your brain. I had my suspicions.
That was very good.
But yeah.
Yeah. And my wish is God, just more of that, man. Make my brain blow up.
Mm-hmm.
I like killing baddies and going on quests, but crazy plot twists,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fam.
Yeah. Oh, also we got to break into a prison. I feel like that's I do want to do
Not the first time.
Yeah,
that's mostly going to
experience.
get glossed over because we're not going to spend a whole session breaking into a prison. It's just going to be the scene with,
Again.
Yeah.
We all wake up in a prison again.
Yeah, we're not.
Damn it.
We're not gonna.
We're bad at this.
Yeah, I want to keep the downtime as condensed as we can. So we'll I'd like to mostly just get through the scenes that y'all want to do and then move on to my next arc because I'm very excited about that. So
2-year jump. Do Wolf and Yaz move in together?
Oh.
That's again, those are the questions we need to answer next time. Thank you everyone for watching. We'll be back in a week to continue our game. Join us in the meantime for all of our other shows. Keep an eye on our schedule, join our Discord. You can get updates on what is happening, when and where and how, because some of our shows are up in the air for this week, but you can stay most up to date on that if you join our Discord. You'll get announcements for everything that we do. Thank you, my
Ain't
lovely
that right,
player.
Copper?
Yeah, hi
Meow.
Copper.
Oh,
Will not
copper.
leave me alone. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you, my lovely players, for being
Thank you for the game.
Thanks for the game.
awesome. You're welcome. We will see everyone in 1 week, and until next time, good game and good night, internet.
Par-delà le temps, la menace grandit. Si loin dans le silence, on entend ses cris. Par-delà les terres, son nom fait frémir. Préparez-vous, le néant arrive. Les légendes ne se trompent point.